All right. Now, that is what's up. Now, what do you love most about being an entrepreneur?
What I love most about what I do is just being able, truly, like I said, to see your vision and creating your path. We all have a vision of our own. And when you're an entrepreneur, you're able to bring that vision to light. It doesn't always come exactly like you plan, but you kind of go through that process and get to see the end result of what that vision is going to come to.
Oh, okay. Can you let everyone know how they can find and get in contact with Odom Investments in Property Management?
Yes, we are located right here in the city of Milwaukee, but you can give us a call at 855 Odom Way, and that's the way to go.
855 Odom Way, because that's the way to go?
Yes.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for joining me here today, Erica.
Thank you for having me.
And this has been your Black Business Give Back Spotlight with Odom Investments in Property Management, LLC, right here on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
You are listening to the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give
give them a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. And it's Pop-Off Friday. And my title today is Dear MPS Teachers. So, MPS is starting to do some great things, I believe. Everybody's giving pushback already. They talked about the budget. Principals need to have access to their money. And so we've been wasting time and energy and talking about things that don't seem to matter with MPS. Like, shouldn't the teacher be talking about, I don't know, education? Shouldn't principals be pushing education and that they don't have to worry about a budget? They get to hand off information and things that need fixing to people. It's not by accident one of the first people let go was the guy that's in charge of maintenance that wasn't doing maintenance. You got a maintenance budget, but maintenance isn't getting done. You got union workers taking their time, fixing stuff, generating job security, when in fact, they should be just doing their job. If we paid maintenance people the way we pay people with state contracts for construction, all of MPS would be beautiful right now. X, I'm giving you 3 weeks to paint this room. For every day you finish away from the date, you get a bonus. So if I'm going to pay you $1,000 to paint this room and I give you 15 days, if you do it on 14 days, I'm going to give you $1,100. I was going to go to $50, but anyway. And if you finish it 2 days out, I give you $1,200. Think about that. So essentially, if you finish that 3-week job that costs $1,000 a week early, you'll come up with $1,500. And then you lock in X amount of that. Like, you only get like 5 days early. If you do it 6 days early, you're only getting the $500. But at least there's some incentive built in, right? We'll fix it when we fix it. It's on a list. We'll get to it in order, blah, 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 blah. Story from CBS 58. The public has its first chance Thursday, June 5th, that's last night, to share their thoughts on the MPS Superintendent Brenda Cassellius' first proposed budget. Now, remember, she took this budget that went out to the public that was 100 and something, 300, 400, 500 pages and made it 50, 51 pages. So they showed the highlights and the summary because she gave you an executive summary of the budget. Most of the remarks revolved around two things: frustration over a lack of increased funding for extracurricular activities. Now, why are you complaining about something that you can't do and you don't have when the prior superintendent didn't take care of the money the way it was supposed to, so it didn't come in, so you don't have extra money. Now you have to take whatever extra money you have, I don't know what I'm saying extra for, whatever money in the other parts of the budget to fill a $16.5 million gap for special education. The other one is concern over a push to move decisions out of schools and into MPS central office. At the start of her presentation, she was blunt about the problems facing the district, discussing challenges in a way previous administration and board leaders have not. She noted the abysmal scores on the 2024 national testing, 12%, 12. That's out of 100 kids, only 12 of them in fourth grade were proficient in math. 9% of those same fourth graders were proficient in reading. If you can't read and do math, you can't do anything in life. She also mentioned the 21 students who've died from homicide this year, just as of May 5th, noting it's possible that number has increased in weeks. And then somebody questioned, well, why'd she bring up homicides? Well, better education, better thoughts, better knowledge, better decision-making. Some of the signature changes in the budget is a shift that gives the administration way more say on individual schools' budgets, taking some of those decisions away from principals. Cassellius says this will free up principals to focus more on the instruction and culture in their schools. Parents and teachers who spoke last night were skeptical of the plan, saying it would worsen inequalities between schools. How would it worsen inequalities between schools when the people who are in charge of the money are the ones that give you the money? So it's not like if you got a $100,000 budget, you don't have a $100,000 budget. You just got to watch what you spend it with. This idiocy now in nonprofit world and not-for-profit world of, hey, I know what we're going to do. We got to spend all the money or else we'll get less last time. Or we'll only get the same amount. We got to show that we need more, so we're going to spend it all and then ask for more. Why? If it's not going for salaries, what's it going for? While I understand, this is what Angela Harris, chair of the Black Educators Caucus, said. While I understand the intention may be to create consistency across the district, centralization often comes at the cost of equity. How is that? When financial decisions are moved further away from school communities, we risk silencing the voices closest to the needs of our students. Where'd that come from? Is there data? Is there a study? Where's that come from? Why is a principal in charge of a budget anyway? They're an educator. Let financial people take care of budgets. Let the principal take care of the teachers. Other common concerns came from the MTEA, the teachers union, of course, had an agreement in place to guarantee steady funding for extracurriculars by having it as an item in the district's overall budget. Currently, extracurricular funding is handled at the individual school level, and speakers said that's unfair to students in MPS least desirable schools. How is that? How is it undesirable? Students have, so here's the answer from Nicolo Honorado, and I hope I'm saying the name right, who's a teacher. Students have been asking for those opportunities for years, and if we want to have engaged students, we have to provide them opportunities to engage, to find things that inspire them. And it is our duty to provide the funding that facilitate that. Why don't you try doing that in the classroom? Why don't you try doing that? And your argument can't be, you're not a teacher, or you're not a licensed teacher, so you don't understand. It's idiotic. This year's budget, propped up by $51 million coming from the April 2024 referendum. Milwaukee voters narrowly passed. Most of the referendum's $252 million will be gone by next year. And Casella said the district faces a projected budget deficit between $75 and $110 million without a significant boost in state funding. And even if that happens, she acknowledged MPS will have to make tough decisions about consolidating low-enrolled schools and downsizing its 9,500-person workforce. In the immediate future, the MPS board will have the next couple of weeks to amend the budget and the board is set to vote on adopting a final budget on June 24th. And so what we have here is accountability, and we have transparency, and nobody likes transparency, clearly, in the Milwaukee Public School District, especially teachers and union leaders. Transparency means we don't have the money. Transparency means we have to stop milking taxpayers over and over and over and over while we make mistakes and make them pay for it. And then we lie and say that this money is good, and then this is all we'll need, and then as soon as you get it, say you're going to need another referendum. It was a lie. It was a lie. And everybody's pretending like these prior superintendents who have jacked the Milwaukee public school system like they don't exist anymore. Well, they're out of office, so we're not going to talk about them. Well, then let's talk about the principals. Let's talk about the union. Let's talk about the board that let all this happen anyway. And so to vote a woman out as board chair and then have her voted in as vice chair and then have the vice chair become the chair means what? Nothing's changed. And they're going to figure out a way to kowtow to the unions, and they're going to jack MPS Superintendent Dr. Brenda Casellas. They're going to jack her budget, and she's going to be stuck with the same garbage that we had before. Or they'll let her do what they hired her to do. If you're going to pay me $400,000, pay me so that I can do my job. Pay me and let me do what you asked me to do. Because then you can't blame her. The blame won't go to the superintendent. It will go to the school board and the teachers union. And subsequently, the teachers. So dear MPS teachers, get out of your own way. Follow what your boss says. Find it interesting you don't follow your boss, but you expect children to follow you. When you're setting the example of dismissing what you're told to do and do what you want to do. We want to have control of our own money. We're going to do what we want to do. The children don't know and the children don't care. They just want to go to school, learn, and have a good time. Schools should be a sanctuary, not nonsense. And you make it bad for all of the outstanding, phenomenal public school licensed teachers in the state of Wisconsin that spend money out of their own pockets to make sure kids have what they need. And when you have money, teachers still pay money out of their pockets. You know why? Because they want what they want. Because every school needs something different because the kids are different. But this separation, talking about black kids need something that white kids don't, I don't remember that going to school. And I went to a school that was all black. Elementary, middle school, and in high school, we had one Hispanic girl because where my school was located, right under the viaduct, was a huge Spanish community. And I still remember her name. Everybody knew her. And there was no cultural issue at all because the school graduated 100%. %12 of fourth graders are proficient at math. 9% are proficient at reading. And you're stuck on the budget. Dr. Casellas, what is the number you want children to be at next year? I want 13% doing math, fourth graders, to be proficient. And I want 10% of those doing reading. That's all. It's kind of simple. Fourth graders, I want the 12% to move to 13. I want the 9% for reading to turn to 10. That's it. Fix the buildings. Cure the lead. And go from there. Teachers that don't want to teach, quit. Teachers that don't like it, quit. Teachers think they need more money, pay it yourself or quit. It sounds like you're going to be held accountable. If you don't work with this superintendent, the board is going to cut those. Easiest thing to do to save 9,500 person workforce is to simply what? Consolidate schools. And unfortunately, when you consolidate schools, you don't need everybody. And those schools that need more security, more assistance, more clerks, for lack of a better phrase, school secretaries, school nurses, all the extra, send them to the schools that need it. We're talking about we're short teachers, and teachers are working as specialists. So if we're going to spend extra money, let's spend extra money paying those specialists to stay after school to help those kids bring up their reading and math levels. Let's do that. Otherwise, we're going to be here on June 6, 2026, God forbid, and I'm going to be on here on a pop-off Friday, which will probably be a Thursday, saying what? Dear MPS teachers.
And that is Dr. Ken's Truth on the new 1017 The Truth.
This is 1017 The Truth's Kyle Wallace, and I am Milwaukee. I take great pride in being a 414 boy and representing the city that I love. The great memories I have of going to Northtown Cinema to see movies with family and friends, to going to Capitol Court to see the Black Santa Claus, this city has helped shape me into the man that I am today, and I pledge to utilize my voice as a way to advocate for you in our community. Join the home of Milwaukee's realest conversations where you can speak your truth. We are the award-winning 1017 The Truth. Milwaukee Black Talk.
What's poppin', Truth Nation? It's your girl Noni Juice for my friends at Steinhoffels. And nothing beats a great night's sleep on a Beauty Rest from Steinhoffels. Right now, you'll get a free foundation when you buy a Beauty Rest Black or World Class mattress. Queen mattresses start at just $30 per month when you use Steinhoffels' 60-month financing. And with Steinhoffels' 110% price guarantee, 120-night sleep guarantee, and free delivery, you can't make a mistake. Don't overpay for a good night's sleep. Shop in-store or online at Steinhoffels.com.
Tired of hearing no from other banks? No to a loan? No to a checking account? Just no? At Brewery Credit Union, they find ways to say yes. Yes to second chances. Yes to rebuilding credit. Yes to helping you save, borrow, and thrive. Work with your credit specialist and move your financial life forward. Brewery Credit Union, Milwaukee's best place to borrow and save. Visit brewerycu.com. That is brewerycu.com. Federally insured by NCUA.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axhousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Well, it ain't traffic time, that's for sure. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Talking text line, got nothing to do with you. Always complaining, Gary, every time. Got nothing to do with teachers. Teachers don't control funding. You're missing the point. I'm talking about the teachers that were at the school board meeting. That's one. Number two, in the end, teachers request, principals have budgets. They make decisions at the school level. Teachers ask, hey, we need money for this, we need money. I'm sure they have input. Them and the assistant principals. Come on. Gary just is opposite of everything I say. If I say left, he says right, even if I'm right. So, whatever. Okay. Thank you for that, Gary. 833-212-1017 is the number. Oh, I see Quanda's back. Hey, what's up, y'all? Sincere, Mao, everybody's there. Ain't y'all supposed to say hello to me first? Supposed to say hello to me. I feel slighted. Why? Because it's Pop-Off Friday. I feel slighted. I feel, as they say, I feel some kind of way. Oh, by the way, feeling some kind of way. Yeah. Right now it's 70 degrees. Tonight it's going to drop to a low of 53. Winds are from the northeast at 9 miles an hour. Dew point at 43%. Pressure's going down. Visibility is at about 10 miles. Do you keep up with the moon phase, anybody? The moon is in waxing gibbous, Gibbous. I have no idea what the heck that means. Do I care? No. They estimate overnight it'll be about 55 degrees. The low's going to get about 53. So, the high today was 71. Now it's down to 70 and going from there. Should I cheat and look at what's tomorrow? Saturday. A high of 69, low of 56, partly cloudy with a 5% chance of rain. Sunday is high is 71, low is 56. PM thunderstorms, 70% chance. So we'll have rain maybe Sunday, a little bit Monday is at 58%. And then it goes back down. I don't get, why are we in the rain? Isn't it supposed to rain in May? It's June already. It's almost springtime. And it's starting to rain. People are like, why are you complaining about everything? Because it's Pop-Off Friday. And when it's Pop-Off Friday, we complain. That's all. We complain every Friday. 833-212-1017 is the number. Question, is there a such thing as reverse discrimination? Because I know people are shaking their head yes. But I would say no. I think that if we're going to apply the Constitution to everybody, well, it wouldn't apply to everybody. Well, all things being equal, if we're to apply the Constitution to everybody, then discrimination is discrimination. Evidently, the U.S. Supreme Court feels the same way. Only two Black Supreme Court justices, the only two Black Supreme Court justices, Clarence Thomas and Ketanji Brown Jackson, share a difference of opinion in a recent decision that made it easier for reverse discrimination lawsuits in the workplace to be filed. That makes absolutely no sense because when you say something that you can't discriminate based on race, that's everybody's race. If it's gender, it's everybody's gender. If it's age, it's everybody's age. Thomas, who is conservative, blames employers' obsession with DEI in the case of a straight white woman who claimed she was passed over for promotions in favor of gay employees. American employers have long obsessed with diversity, equity, inclusion, and affirmative action plans. Initiatives of this kind have often led to overt discrimination against those perceived to be in the majority. Well, sometimes it has, but most of the time it hasn't. So what happens is a company gets to apply it based on how they feel. Affirmative action we have to have. Like everybody's screaming, we have an act. It's codified. There's nothing you can do about it, but it applies to everybody. You can't say, literally, it's unconstitutional that says this American doesn't get it, but this American does for whatever reason. That's part of the fight. And that's why I keep saying we need to make our own everything. If there's something we don't like, create our own, and then we don't have to bother. Now, the flip side to that is, well, let me give another example. It's like having a historically black college or university. Federal money goes through loans and federal grants and all that stuff, support to HBCUs. And that's a general statement. So if it goes to an HBCU and the HBCU accepts the money, then they have to follow the law. Following the law means what? Following the law means that you cannot discriminate. So when a white guy goes to Morehouse College or a white girl goes to Spelman, you can't turn her away because she's white. You cannot discriminate. Any more so than if you went to a predominantly white school, they can't turn you away because you're black. That's just how life is. That's what it says. It's not just for indigenous people, just for Hispanic people, just for Asian, just for black people, and white people just kind of go on their own. If they want to go to your school and it's an HBCU and they got the grades and they outshine, I don't know, just make up a number, 80% of the people applying, and out of that 20% that's left, you have space for them, let them in. Because that's what we would expect. Because that's what the law says. But in the end, the Constitution is for everybody. I remember when the 17 lieutenants, all white, some of whom I used to think were friends of mine, but now I don't think so because of what they did and how they did it. If you want to sue and you're white and you want to sue to get a job because you think black people aren't smart enough to do a job that you can do, that's one thing. That's within your right. But when you get on a stand and start talking about black executive command staff and call them stupid because they have a Southern accent, call them uneducated because you think they don't know what they're doing and they have master's degrees, more education than the knucklehead trying to get the job who never even went to college, got all their training in executive command staff training, but never went to college, but they automatically think they're better. Now, if a white guy did it and promoted black people, would they have fought? Probably not. Why? Because there have been white chiefs that promoted black people and no white people complained about it. But when a black chief, Arthur Jones, promotes people, well, he has to have promoted them because they're black, because we know black people aren't smart enough to be executive command staff. And that's where we are. And now we hide that in women, right? So now we just promote white women and then pretend, oh, well, she's a minority. Nah, I don't think so. And so what this woman did, who was white, took it all the way to the Supreme Court. And you know what her argument was? She alleged discrimination due to her what? Sexual orientation. The fact that she was heterosexual and they hired minorities and someone that was gay, she got passed over. And that she believed she was better qualified. And they looked at it and she was better qualified. She got passed over for promotion in 2019 for a lesbian woman, and then Ames said that she was replaced by a gay man. So they wouldn't give anybody, straight or white, the job. Justice Department, the American First Legal Foundation, and the Libertarian Pacific Legal Foundation supported her. NAACP Defense and Education Fund is one of the first organizations to support Ohio in this case. The Cincinnati-based 6th U.S. Circuit Court of Appeals ruled for Ohio when it came to the background circumstances requirement. Now, what they have is there's a background circumstances that they look at to say, well, what's your background? If all things are equal, they look at your background. Where you're from, race, age, gender, all that stuff. I don't understand why. Black people have always been taught you got to be 3 times better in order to be considered equal. I think we should pick up that mantle again. If white people can believe they're smart by virtue of just they're white and we just like it's generally accepted that they're smarter, then black people should think that they're 3 times as smarter and act accordingly and then show it with excellence like they always do. But what we forget is that the law applies to everybody. You don't get to exclude white people, right? Because now, here's what we're going to get the same type of lawsuits that we got from MPD and the 17 white lieutenants. Everything's going to be reverse discrimination. Black person's going to walk in overly qualified, higher degrees, twice as much experience, and the first thing they're going to say is they got hired because they're black. And the other person won't have a pot to blank in and a window to throw it out of. But they're going, but you know, if the person you're talking to believes that white people are smarter, then they're just going to automatically assume that the white person in the group is smarter. You could have a group of black officers standing there. One of them can have on gold on their shield, sergeant or lieutenant, and they'll always walk up to the white person and ask them the question as if they're in charge. Example, before we go to break. I was working at District 6. I was the lieutenant, the shift commander. About 6 sergeants under me, 3 shifts, maybe, let me see. At the time, maybe around 60 cops. And the person comes in and says, I would like to talk to the boss. And so I walk up. Who are you? I'm Lieutenant Harris. No, I want to talk to the boss. Now, meanwhile, there's a white police officer saying, ma'am, talking to the white woman, this is the boss. You don't have a sergeant around here? Ma'am, he outranks the sergeant. He's a lieutenant. The only other person is the captain, and they're not here because it's in the late evening. What can we do for you? I don't want to talk to you. I'm going to file a complaint because I think you're lying. Can I talk to one of those officers? You mean the other white officers? No, ma'am. Well, why not? Because you asked to speak to a supervisor, right? I'm 2 ranks above them. What are we doing? And to have to deal with that nonsense over and over and over every day, all day. But then, don't black people do that too? Y'all ain't got nobody black here I can talk to? Don't you feel better when you go in and see somebody black there? You want to go talk to them? You go to a conference and it's like 12 white people and 2 black people and you're black, so you immediately connect with them? Yeah, white people do that too. Except the mindset isn't the same. The mindset isn't we're outnumbered and I feel self-conscious. Theirs is I'm in charge, so why wouldn't it be like this? Like this is the normal way. There always has to be more white people. Even though you're in a country where there isn't more white people. But we're going to count the way we need to count, discount people we need to discount so we can make sure it's predominantly white. When you have a school district that when you add up the black, Hispanic, and Asian and indigenous students, there's a minority of white students in MPS. But yet the majority of decisions, the majority of, well, I can't say money because I haven't seen the budget. The majority of all the great things that are going on in great schools ain't on the north side where black people live. There ain't on the, am I supposed to say ain't on the near south side where Hispanic people live. Why is that? Because the people that control the money in Madison don't look like us. You can support your race, just don't be overbearing about it. Sometimes we just get overbearing. And when I say we as in America. We get overbearing. There's nothing wrong with loving your race. As a black man, I love my race. I love my race more than other races. I say that publicly, and it is what it is. It just is. Interesting. I heard that. I hear that. That's on the air. It's Friday. Well, we back at 7 now. The 7 minus 2, now we're back up to 7. No, sir. No, sir. After today, I'm at like 8. So we have this ongoing silliness where every time there's a mistake made and it's not my mistake, he has to buy me a cigar. I have no idea what I'm going to do with it, but it used to be dinner, but if we go to dinner, he going to eat all the food because he's bigger than me. So, that's that. But, right? So I was up to 7 cigars, and then he had 2 perfect days. And so, right? So, no. We're even. No. We erase your 2 mistakes because I made a mistake. Remember with the microphone when I coughed? So, yeah, I guess we're back even. We're back even. 833-212-1017 is the number. What is the reverse discrimination thing? Can somebody help me with that? Somebody help me. 833-212-1017 is the number. Or you can hit me on the YouTube chat. Always stream and watch us live here at YouTube at 1017thetruth.com. Make sure you hit the subscribe and hit the notification bell so you never miss a minute of Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris. And now with 1017 The Truth traffic, here's Debbie Lazaga.
An accident on eastbound 94 right at the ramp from Mitchell Boulevard is off on the right shoulder. So that's going to be making for some delays coming from about 84th Street to that point. We've also got southbound 43 backing up from Keefe down through the Marquette to the KK River. Northbound's backed up from about Kilbourne all the way up to Keefe. And then on southbound 41, heavy from Appleton Avenue all the way down to Burleigh. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 52. Tomorrow, partly to mostly cloudy. A slight chance for an afternoon rain, a high of 67 at the lake, 73 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 1017 The Truth.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
It's party time at Cousins Subs. For a limited time only, Cousins 2-foot party subs are back. Choose from the club, ham and provolone, Italian special, or turkey. Each party sub is just $39.99. Feeds 5 to 8 people and requires 24-hour notice to order. And now you can complete your party by adding a party chip bag and a dozen chocolate chip cookies for just $4.99. Order today in store, online, or on the app. Cousins Subs. We believe in better.
An unsuspecting driver at a gas station in Wisconsin.
Welcome, Pump 15. How you doing?
Great.
Were you wearing your seatbelt today?
I never wear my seatbelt.
We're going to get him. We're going to get him real good.
Oh, my goodness.
Hello, sir. How you doing? Donald Driver. It takes 1 second to strap a seatbelt on. Well, let's do this. Let's do it together. Now, don't that feel better?
Donald Driver can't always be there to remind you.
Click it or ticket.
And let's reduce fatalities on Wisconsin roadways.
And I should have recognized your voice when you were harassing me.
I'm watching you.
Sponsored by Wisconsin DOT.
It's 1017 The Truth's Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. When it's time to upgrade your windows and doors, wouldn't you like to work with the best? But maybe you're thinking in these volatile times, I don't want to spend a fortune. Well, Pella, the best in the industry, has a product line for every budget. And right now, you can get no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. And if the plan is to wait, guess what? You can get it now and wait to start making payments up to 2 years. Pella truly believes that quality windows and doors don't have have to be expensive. With a range of affordable options and products assembled in the U.S., you can get the look you want at a price you can afford. And with Pella's free in-home consultation, no obligation quote, and range of available financing, getting new windows and doors from Pella is easier than you think. Certain restrictions apply. Ends June 30th of 2025. Set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com.
This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
So, Black women's leadership needs to be prioritized. That means a whole lot of things, but it includes a message for white women, which would be, it'll be wise for you to take our lead. We've already demonstrated everything there is to the world about who we are. We shouldn't have to keep doing that over and over again. The reality is that there are times when we got to muster up the energy to do some things we don't want to do, but I don't want that to be commonplace for me, and I certainly don't want it to be commonplace for other Black women. There's often this message that we need to stay strong because there are people depending on it. No, we need ourselves.
Yeah, you can't, what do they say? You can't pour from an empty cup?
Yes. And I even am hearing people say a lot more, you shouldn't pour from your cup at all until it overflows. And it's the overflow that you give. You keep the full cup for yourself.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
This Associated Bank Sports Update on 101.7 The Truth is powered by ESPN Milwaukee. I'm Brandon Snide. The Milwaukee Brewers are back in action following their off day on Thursday. They'll welcome in the San Diego Padres tonight to begin a 3-game series over at American Family Field. That first pitch is set for 7:10. Chad Patrick on the mound for the Brew Crew. Over to the NBA, where the Indiana Pacers steal Game 1 of the NBA Finals. After not having a lead at any point in the game, they get the lead with 0.3 seconds on the clock thanks to a Tyrese Halliburton bucket.
Halliburton has it with 3, driving with 2, pulling up, and hitting with 0.3 of a second to go.
The Pacers beating the Thunder 111-110. Game 2 is set for Sunday. Over to the NFL, where Aaron Rodgers has agreed to terms on a 1-year deal with the Pittsburgh Steelers, the team announcing on Thursday. They did say that contract is pending a physical. This sports update brought to you by Associated Bank, proudly supporting your hometown teams. Member FDIC.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
She's the kind of girl you want to marry.
833-212-1017 is the number. Don't be playing Robin Thicke on my show. I don't like Robin Thicke. The way he treated his wife. Nope. Bump Robin Thicke. No Robin Thicke. Huh? How'd he treat his wife? You don't know. Oh, that's right. You weren't born. My bad. You were born, but no Robin Thicke. No Robin Thicke, no Chris Brown, no Will Smith. The fact that he slapped somebody on international TV? Yeah, that? Yeah. No Will Smith. Defending a woman who slept with her son's friend? No. I don't think so. I don't. I'm so glad I paused what I was about to say. 833-212-1017 is the number. Lisa, you're on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth.
Hello, Dr. Ken. How are you?
I'm great. How are you this Friday?
I'm doing good. Can't complain. Black people, we can't discriminate. Every black person in this world, we can't discriminate. We don't have the, economic finance. We don't have the structure. We don't have the businesses. We don't have any of that to do that.
Stop that. I think that's total nonsense. Stop.
No, we don't. Now, what I believe we should
Why
do,
is it that when we talk about black people having power and we want to have power and we're great and we're all this, but then when it comes to one of us doing something that's unseemly or something that's not above board, we don't have the power. We don't have the money. We don't have an intellect. We don't have
Let me ask you something.
Yes.
No, I'm not saying all that. Let me say this. If I owned a grocery store, okay, in my neighborhood, how many white people do you think will come to my grocery store?
That's a fool's argument, because your argument is only going to have information that supports you, not me.
It's just like when I moved to Minnesota. I lived in the suburb. Now I needed some soul food. I needed some chitlins, some ham hocks, and all that for my family to come by. Okay, I went to Cubs. Cubs, I'm used to in Milwaukee having it. Okay, so I went there. I couldn't find it.
Cubs has food based on the neighborhood that they're in. All stores do that. That's why you can go to some Walgreens and they don't have it. Okay, so is that discrimination?
Right. So, but
time out. Is that discrimination?
Okay,
is it discrimination?
Yeah, it can be.
It is not.
It can be.
It is not.
It's just like
I'm not gonna have something in a store that won't sell. That's like you having white women's perm in your store where you only sell to black people.
Sell.
Listen to what I'm saying.
It does.
Listen to what I'm saying.
Okay.
White women's stuff, white women's stockings, hair, all that stuff, right? Black women don't buy it, but you got it in your store. Why?
White women, well, because we don't have the white woman hair.
You're missing my point.
White women, they do wear weaves. No.
You're missing my point.
But you're saying it's okay. Okay, repeat that again now.
Bottom line is based on what you said, that only supports what you're saying, and it doesn't include any other information that could be there. So in your argument, of course you're going to be right. But the bottom line is that black people are in spaces where they can discriminate. And I'm sure some of them do, just like everybody does.
It's not like we're gonna. Okay, if a white woman coming to my black hair salon, you can't come in. We only do black patrons. We only deal with black people.
And most white people already know that, and they don't come in. Do you go to a white hairstylist?
Come on now, how many?
Do you go to a white hairstylist?
Black people that you know? Yes. Yep, she right there on 30. No, 40.
Don't say the name.
Right there on 46 in Burleigh.
See,
right there. The ladies know. She owned a barbershop right there on 46.
Please don't do that. And don't give out. Don't do that. Don't listen to what I'm saying.
She done my hair.
Don't do that on the air. Don't do it on the air. Thank you. So
don't do what on the air?
Mention names and dates and places and addresses and all that stuff, because we can't verify any of that.
I didn't.
Yes, you did. You said an address.
No. All right.
No.
The young ladies that's listening that
the point that I'm trying to make,
they
you know exactly what I'm trying to say, and you can come up with every because there's always an exception. You can always come up with an exception, but the bottom line is that as black people, some of us have the power to discriminate, and when we come in, we make ourselves look. That's not true. You don't think black people discriminate? Black people discriminate against black people.
No, it's just like when black people protest. Is it discriminate if they say, look, white people, we love you enough, y'all sit down and we're going to just protest on our own? Would that be discrimination?
No, discrimination would be as if they showed up and you turned them away. That's discrimination.
Okay, so if they show up and they turn them away.
And that has happened at times. And that has happened at times. If you show up at a if you show
I'm going to call you Sherwin.
What?
I'm about to call you Sherman by mistake.
I'm hanging up. Okay, bye.
When
bye.
And where?
See, I'm
Don't do that.
I'm done.
No,
bye.
I'm sorry.
You call me Sherwin.
I'm sorry.
Have a great evening. Goodbye, Lisa.
Bye.
I'm running out of time. All right, bye. Sherwin. What's wrong with her? I still got another break, don't I? Yeah, I need to, because she broke me.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
From the biggest stars to the greatest moments, Behind the Bucks is Bucks history like you've never heard it before. Go behind the scenes of the Emmy-nominated Giannis documentary. Get the real story of the blockbuster trade for Damian Lillard. Hear the origin of Bucks in 6. It's all on Behind the Bucks on the Bucks Plus audio network, presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker and HR and benefits consultant. Available now on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
Gruber Law Offices. One call, that's all.
They treated me like family. They're actually people that you can depend on.
They made me feel seen. They really treated me like I was a part of their family, a part of their team.
They ask how you're doing, how you're feeling.
They're just so welcoming and so sweet and kind.
It's like family, caring about another member of the family.
If you've been injured, it costs you nothing to see if Gruber Law Offices can help.
Saving energy and money is easier than you think. Here are 2 simple things you can do to reduce your energy use and lower your energy bill. Use thermal curtains to reduce each room's energy loss by up to 25%, and make sure vents aren't blocked by furniture or rugs to improve airflow and comfort. Simple, smart savings. Get more energy-saving tips at WeEnergies.com.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. Since I got less than a minute, thank you, Lisa. I'm just kidding. Sections of Interstate 894 will be closed today through the 9th and the 13th through the 16th as the Wisconsin Department of Transportation continues its road work on the highway. So that means from the Mitchell interchange to the Hale interchange, that is going to be closed. That's a long doggone way. It's going to be closed. So you're not going to be able to drive on 94 or 41894 all the way south to the Hale interchange this weekend for 54 hours. You might want to check. Top 5 at 5 up next.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Hey, Truth fam, this is your girl, Melanie Ricks, and I want to remind you to tune into Nothing But the Truth digital show with me, Melanie Ricks, presented by Visit Milwaukee. Every Wednesday at 6 p.m., a new episode drops on the 1017 The Truth YouTube page. And since it is on YouTube, I hold nothing back. I give you all my hot takes on celebrity gossip and give you the tea on relationships that you don't want to miss. Subscribe to 1017 The Truth on YouTube so you never miss Nothing But the Truth digital show, dropping every Wednesday at 6 p.m., presented by Visit Milwaukee. Handcrafted, homegrown, world class.
This is Sherwin Hughes from The Truth with Sherwin Hughes. And Truth Nation, you can now watch my show live on YouTube every day from 9 a.m. until noon. Yep, you can get 3 full hours of watching Sherwin doing his thing streaming live on YouTube Monday through Friday. You'll get the same insightful conversations about policy, politics, and lifestyle while also seeing my reaction to the unpredictability of our listeners. So go to YouTube right now, subscribe to 1017 The Truth, and see this wonderful smile live every day.
Day 1, diagnosis day. The hardest day. The day you hear,
I'm sorry. This is a type of blood cancer.
But day 1 is just one day. At the Leukemia and Lymphoma Society, we are here to help you move past day 1.
On day 45, I discovered an online community who shared great tips for in-treatment care.
I missed a lot of school during treatment, and LLS helped me keep up.
We are here for you. We exist for everyone fighting leukemia, lymphoma, myeloma, and other types of blood cancer.
On day 185, LLS helped me file my insurance claims properly.
Day 5,840 and counting, and I'm still in remission.
To learn more and get help on day 1, day 2, day 983, or any day, please visit LLS.org or call 1-800-955-4572. That's LLS.org, 1-800-955-4572.
Teachers are dynamic leaders, shaping a new generation. They bring a variety of perspectives from diverse backgrounds, innovating how they teach to prepare students for our fast-changing world. Achieving this takes skill and expertise. They're tireless explorers, creatively discovering a universe of solutions, telling stories, experimenting, inspiring, mentoring, connecting cultures, and connecting with each other. Leading by example. Experience the unique joy of helping students thrive. Teaching is a journey that shapes lives. Are you ready to begin? Explore teaching at teach.org, a campaign supported by the U.S. Department of Education, teach.org, and 1 million teachers of color.
We are the home of Milwaukee Black Talk. 1017 FM, 1510 AM WGKB Waukesha, and W269DL Milwaukee, a locally owned Good Karma brand station. Bringing you his authentic perspectives on important topics.
They live in suburbs together. They live in the city together. They hang out together, all in the same family. We're the only idiots that fight because we want our voice to only be on one side. Like, does that even make any sense? And when the side loses, you lose everything. They, on the other hand, have a voice no matter what because somebody that looks like them is always in control.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point.
Well, it's just a skewed system.
Of course it is.
It's a lot of judgment.
But answer my question, though. Should we let people go? Should we let people go? Like, let's just forget about bail altogether. And if your neighbor commits a homicide and kills people, if you kill people and they next to you and you just let them come back and live right next to you, they can live upstairs from you. Let them come in your house.
Frank, candid, and straight to the point. This is the best radio show in the state of Wisconsin. Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth and The Truth app.
Now, he's the mayor of the city of Milwaukee. He's a young man. Give him a chance. I only complain about things that I care about. What I want you to do is pretend like I'm in St. Louis. And all I'm asking the mayor and the Common Council president and the Common Council, show me.
Now, live from the American Family Insurance Studio at the Avenue in the heart of downtown Milwaukee, here is Dr. Ken Harris.
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. 833-212-1017 is the number. That was Lisa's fault it took so long. Everything. It's Friday. I got to blame somebody. I'm popping off about Lisa. It was not Lisa's fault. Not at all. I talked too much, and then it ran too long, and then I ran behind like I always do. I used to keep exact time, right? And then I just got, let my ADHD take over. So whatever, boop, I just went that way. And I'm just saying. Yeah, it's been a rough week. It's been a pretty rough week. Yeah. I'm glad it's over. Get to relax, chill, do things I like to do. You know what I like to do when I pop off on Friday? It's to say, hey, Mexico, you can kick rocks.
Number 5.
The U.S. Supreme Court, this is from Axios.com, U.S. Supreme Court rejected yesterday Mexico's $10 billion lawsuit against U.S. gun makers that alleged the company's loose controls allowed for the weapons to be illegally trafficked in the Latin American nation. So, why does all this matter? Well, the unanimous ruling ends a years-long legal battle in the first of its kind suit that saw the Mexican government try to hold U.S. gun makers accountable for drug cartels' high rates of gun violence in parts of the country. And so the Supreme Court ruled that the 6 gun manufacturers, including Smith & Wesson and Glock, and a distributor, were shielded under the Protection of Lawful Commerce in Arms Act. Congress enacted this law in 2005 to halt lawsuits attempting to make gun manufacturers pay for harms resulting from the criminal or unlawful use of a firearm, wrote Justice Elena Kagan. In asserting that the manufacturers intentionally supply guns to bad apple dealers, Mexico never confronts that the manufacturers do not directly supply any dealers, bad apple or otherwise. Kagan said that the Mexican government had not pinpointed, as most aiding and abetting cases do, any specific criminal transaction between the defendants or that the defendants had allegedly assisted in. So what they're saying, Smith & Wesson in a statement yesterday called the ruling a big win for Smith & Wesson, the weapons industry, American sovereignty, and most importantly, every American who wishes to exercise his or her Second Amendment rights. The company added this suit brought by Mexico in collaboration with the U.S.-based anti-Second Amendment activist groups was an affront to our nation's sovereignty and a direct attack on the constitutional, I'll get the word right, the constitutional rights of law-abiding citizens. And so when you look at this, it's kind of different. Well, Mexico's foreign minister said it strongly disagreed with the Supreme Court, as if you have power over our Supreme Court. Their decision, and it will continue to do everything in its power to curb illicit arms trafficking, exhausting all available legal and diplomatic remedies. Could you do that with people crossing your border coming into America? Imagine that. If you could do it with a gun, you could do it with a human being. They're significantly larger than a gun. This is ridiculous. This makes absolutely no sense. And that's why I said they can go kick rocks. I had a story earlier this week about a shooting outside of FedEx, and by the time they got there in Menominee Falls, the person was gone.
Number 4.
A FedEx employee at the company's Menominee Falls facility is on the run and charged with attempted first-degree homicide in this week's early morning shooting. According to a criminal complaint, DeAnthony LaFleur, 19 years old, shot at his manager early this past Monday morning, and prosecutors said LaFleur showed up at about 2:30 for his 3:30 a.m. shift. The complaint said the manager told him to go home since he was not allowed to start his shift early. His manager told investigators that LaFleur said, blankety blank, what's up with you and my sister? I'll up with you. I'll up on you, which is, African-American vernacular for I'm going to come at you or come beat you up or whoop up on you. Anyway, the complaint said his manager took this comment to mean the defendant was going to shoot her. She said she told security staff to now allow LaFleur into the facility because of his escalating behavior. And I'm sure whoever wrote this meant to say not allow. They said now allow. About 3:50 a.m., investigators told LaFleur said he returned, punched his manager in her left eye area with a closed fist. Prosecutors then said another manager tried to separate them, and LaFleur ran toward a fence, grabbed a handgun from his backpack, and shot at his manager as she ran back towards the building. Detective found one spent casing at the scene, but they did not report any injuries. In a statement to WISN 12 News this past Monday, communications manager for FedEx said, "We are aware of an incident outside of the North Milwaukee facility and are grateful there were no injuries. The safety of our team members is our highest priority." I think I read that already. "We are fully cooperating with law enforcement investigation, and any further questions should be directed to the investigating authorities." And that's what I read on Monday or Tuesday, one of those days. And so now they know who did it. They actually know who did it. So what's the name again? DeAnthony LaFleur, 19 years of age. How's that for a manager telling you, "Hey, you can't come to work early"? Like, I don't want to get paid early. I'm just here early. No, can't come. Can't come. And now, let's go back out. You know, you ever see those old TV shows? And now we go out live to the St. Francis School District, right? You know, we'll go live to X in the producer's studio. Well, we're going to go back to St. Francis School District.
Number 3.
Well. The plot thickens. A former St. Francis High School baseball coach, which is who TMJ4 was going to talk to, and they got thrown out. And they have this whole open records issue going on, is accused of sexually assaulting a child close to his family. Prosecutors this week charged Jeffrey Wuerl, W-U-E-R-L, 39, with 3 counts of repeated sexual assault of a child, 1 count of third-degree sexual assault, and 1 count of causing mental harm to a child. Now, according to the criminal complaint, the sexual assault dates back to when the victim was 5 years old. In a letter sent to families, of course, I think I read it before, St. Francis School District Superintendent Deborah Pearce said the district took immediate action after the arrest, and Wuerl was released from all coaching responsibilities. District said it is cooperating with law enforcement, and the criminal complaint did not identify, of course, any instances of sexual assault involving St. Francis students. And they also did not release the name of the student the name of the child, because the child, we believe, is a minor. So, interesting. Do you trust businesses? Like, do you trust businesses to do the right thing? Like, when you go into business, you expect them to give you the service that they say they're going to give, right? Are you serious? So when you go to McDonald's, you be like, and don't say, "I don't go to McDonald's." You know what I'm saying. You go in to get something to eat, you expect them to do their job, right? Or you don't order it. You get your order wrong. I mean, it's two-way. You mess up stuff too. He always try to act like he's perfect. I'm perfect. I ordered exactly what I wanted. And then you look at the receipt and go, "That's not what I ordered." But what if you took your car in for a repair? Okay. What if you gave somebody something to fix, like a TV, something like that? You expect them to fix it and, tell you this how much it's going to cost. You're going to come get it and all that, right?
Number 2.
Well, this from Fox6Now.com. Customers trusted a West Dallas business with heirloom pianos. Listen to my next 2 words. Years later, they wonder what happened to their treasured instruments. Well, Cassandra Kaminsky plays a piano. She remembers her grandparents. Kaminsky was about 12 when her grandpa took her to a piano warehouse and picked out a 1930s Charles Frederick Stein piano. Now, if you know anything about pianos, Stein pianos are the bomb diggity, if y'all know what that means. And I'm only talking to boomers. Everybody else, you can go somewhere and sit down. My grandma raised me, and she wanted me to get lessons. It's such an important memory to me. We tried all the pianos. We played every single one. Kaminsky used to play the piano every day. In 2012, her grandma died. Years later, grandpa got dementia. She says her grandpa neglected the piano in his final years. Keys got stuck. So what did they do? They made the decision to repair and refinish the instrument. So in 2023, she hired Tom Newhouse of Newhouse Piano Workshop to get the piano playing properly. May 2025, she met with Contact 6 at a Muskego warehouse where a piano is being kept in pieces. Some of the piano parts are missing. It's frustrating. It's heartbreaking. This is not how you run a business. It's not how you treat people. Well, Kaminsky says Newhouse removed her piano's interior hardware for repairs and haven't given it back. The rest of her instrument was sent to CT Refinishing to refresh the instrument's exterior, and that work finished months ago. And Kaminsky said CT Refinishing did a beautiful job. So then what's the holdup? Well, the piano can't be reassembled until Newhouse sends back the musical components he's supposed to repair. Like, the harp, that part where the keys strike, the key bed, and then the dampeners, which are the things that you press to dampen it and make it softer and all. Right. Well, she says Newhouse missed his January 2025 deadline. Here's the rub. She already paid him $5,500. He's like, oh, I'm sorry, I've been sick. I'm heavily sedated in the hospital bed. All of a sudden, I'm seeing tons of horrible reviews about people who can't get their pianos back. Kaminsky says Newhouse stopped responding to her calls and emails. Oh, my gosh, did I just get scammed out of my piano? I spent probably a full week bawling my eyes out. And so here's the question. Did you check the Better Business Bureau? Did you go to Google and say, review of Newhouse Piano Workshop? Well, Newhouse Piano Workshop gets an F from the Better Business Bureau. Located near 81st and Greenfield, Contact 6 found this door locked. Items visible through the front windows appeared dusty. West Dallas police confirmed they're investigating Cassandra's case, and they're also investigating whether Newhouse is violating the West Dallas sex offender ordinance by listing the shop as his residence. 20 years ago, Newhouse was convicted of sexually assaulting 3 students at Cedarburg High School between 1996 and 2003. A criminal complaint says Newhouse was a stage director at the school supervising drama activities. See, those are the things. Coaches, drama activity. I'm there as much as I possibly can to see the interaction. In 2017, Newhouse spoke to Contact 6 about another unhappy customer, Karen Fields, 3 years prior. Karen sent her Schultz baby grand. Her Schultz baby grand to him for repairs. She still hasn't gotten it back. Still hasn't gotten it back. So they got police reports. They're working on it. And so now, Attorney William Reinhardt, managing partner at Reinhardt and Scafidi and Reinhardt, has represented some of Newhouse's unhappy customers in court. Reinhardt says, in my point of view, this goes well beyond just being bad at your job or even negligence. It's gross. It's beyond gross negligence. Reinhardt was hired to help a Minnesota family collect their piano from Newhouse, plus an $80,000 civil court judgment. Circuit Court records show Newhouse owes 5 customers more than $170,000 in unpaid judgments. To my knowledge, he has not paid any judgments, and he has not returned any pianos, and he also owes $80,000 in taxes. And yes, there's a tax warrant attached to it. Other customers, where do you go to check on businesses? I need a list of all your customers, and I need to be able to call those customers, not all of them, but enough of them, to find out whether or not there's a good reference. Now, if you went and got a job, you would use references. But when you go have somebody give business, when you go to somebody to have them fix something, would you get a reference? I got a reference when I went to my car repair guy. In fall of 1994, I think summer or fall of 1994, when I bought my first house. You know, I still go to that same person. Over 20 years later, I go to the same person. When people ask me, I need to go somewhere to get my car fixed, go there. I even had somebody recently say, why didn't you tell me? Well, I did, but you wasn't listening. So When you want to do what you want to do, knock yourself out. And then when people ask me, well, how long have you been going to your car guy? Since 1994. Is he expensive? I really don't care. My car's fixed, and I don't have to go back. I have never returned. I think maybe one time in 20-something years have I actually returned back to the same place to get something fixed. But the mess up wasn't the car, like it wasn't repaired. It found something else. You know, because sometimes things cascade. And then sometimes you're hard-headed. Oh, well, I need a tire. And they go, well, you know, looking at your treads, you probably just get 4 tires. Oh, they're trying to get 4 tires out of me and make me pay. I'm not going to do it. I'm just give me two tires. And then you get 2 tires, and what happens? You end up needing 4. So then you go back, can I get 4 tires? So they reached out to this guy. He was able to schedule a meeting at the business in June. A family member will assess the piano, and it may be returned to Lamb. So all these people are just going after this guy because he just doesn't do his job. He didn't do his job. So do you really trust business now? I still do. But you got to verify certain things. You have to go in and get literally, I don't go anywhere, do anything, eat anywhere unless I know somebody who's already gone there, or else, hey, there's this new place. Yeah, that's nice. I'm not going. Why not? Because it's new. And when it's new, when it's new, Lord knows what you get. I'm just saying.
Number 1.
Well, wait. What's the saying? People say, today is my happy day. This is my happy dance. This is my happy song. Well, this is my happy day. From CBS 58, a verdict has been reached in the Maxwell Anderson trial on the 9th day of the trial today. June 6, a jury found Anderson guilty on all counts: first-degree intentional homicide, mutilating a corpse, arson of property, other building, and hiding a corpse. It took 31 minutes for the jury to deliberate. After about 20 minutes on Thursday, they didn't ask any questions. That's less than an hour. Standing room only crowd listened intently as Judge Laura Crivello read the verdicts aloud shortly after 9 o'clock. And I watched it on Fox 6 Now. The courtroom was the most crowded it had been the entire trial. Sade Robinson's family and friends had many supporters, not all of them people who knew the young woman or her family, and many of them just concerned people from the community who followed the case all along. Maxwell Anderson's parents were not in the gallery as they had been every other day of the trial. There were no outbursts or applause when the verdicts were read, but many people were crying. After Maxwell Anderson was led out in handcuffs and the trial ended, family and friends hugged and cried in the gallery. They spent the next 45 minutes or so in a private room reserved for their family, then walked outside of the safety building to talk to the media. I am in agreement with this, not because the guy got arrested and so he did it. No, he got arrested and he had a trial, and they presented all the facts, and it was open, and it was on TV, and anybody that wanted to see it could see it and watch it, and that was that. I had my doubts that they would do it. I had my doubts because there were some things that occurred that just didn't make sense. There were some things that were missing, and what they did is they did, like most cases, they had enough circumstantial evidence that piled up high enough to convict him. And I, for one, am very glad. I, for one, are very glad that they actually convicted him. I'm scared what would have happened to this city had they had a not guilty verdict or had a hung jury. The family demanded justice, and they got justice. This is the way the system works. I applaud the prosecutors. I applaud those. I applaud the defense attorney. He held his cool. He was competent. He was a very competent attorney, and he did his job. He had a few subtle things like, calling him certain things like, Max when his name is Maxwell, to humanize him. But I don't know if you could humanize him. I don't know if you could. He's a monster. He should be locked up, and hopefully he will get life because he got found guilty of first-degree intentional homicide. And in Wisconsin, I think that might be 40 years to life. So, yeah. Good luck with that, Max.
One call, that's all.
Truth Nation, now's your chance to be our one call, that's all 5K giveaway entry for the day. Yes, you can be entered in to win $5,000 courtesy of Gruber Law Offices. Be caller number 4. Right now at 833-212-1017, and you'll be entered in to win the $5,000 giveaway with the award-winning 1017 The Truth and Gruber Law Offices. Again, that's caller number 4 at 833-212-1017. Remember, if you or your loved one has ever been injured in an accident, contact Gruber Law Offices now. Visit them at gruber-law.com. That's gruber-law.com. For official contest rules, visit 1017thetruth.com.
Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris returns after this on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Here at the new 1017 The Truth, we aim to be a staple in Milwaukee's Black community. We are committed to partnering with local organizations and supporting Black-owned businesses. We are proud to call Milwaukee our city and promise to be a positive reflection of our community. We look forward to celebrating Black culture and excellence with you every day as we make history and continue to uplift the voices in our city. Join us for the journey at the new 1017 The Truth, founded by Gruber Law Offices. Milwaukee Black Talk. Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender.
We Energies want you to keep this important safety message in mind. Before you start digging, planting, or landscaping on your property, call 811 to have underground utilities marked. Calling 811 at least 3 business days before you plan to dig will help you know what's below and can prevent a hazardous situation. Our representatives will mark the underground utilities on your property for free. So remember, stay safe and call before you dig.
We Energies. People you can trust. Energy you can depend on.
Great impressions will exceed your expectations. Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
At Great Impressions Graphics and Printing, they've been proudly serving the community for over 26 years. From their location at the corner of 54th and Burleigh in Milwaukee, their dedication to quality and customer satisfaction has made them a trusted name in printing and design. Great Impressions offer a wide range of services, including banners, posters, yard signs, business cards, programs, and postcards. Plus, they specialize in custom apparel printing, perfect for family reunions, sports outings, business promotions, and more. For your next project, visit greatimpress.com. That's greatimpress.com. Great Impressions. They're here when you need them.
Great impressions, perceptions, everything.
This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 1017 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
Yes, sir.
You know you want some more, girl, so come on. You know you
You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris for Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. You know, time to upgrade your windows and or doors, but don't want to, spend a fortune. Well, Pella, the best in the industry, has a product line for every single budget. And right now you can get no interest and no payments for up to 2 years. So if the plan is to wait, guess what? You can get it now and wait to start making payments up to 2 years later. Certain restrictions apply. Offer ends June 30th of 2025. So set your free in-home consultation today at PellaWI.com. That's PellaWI.com. 833-212-1017 is the number. Who's our winner? Winner. Wayne, congratulations. You are a entry winner for Gruber. One call, that's all. 5K giveaway. So congratulations. Outstanding work. Outstanding. So we had some comments here. Let me go back. LT said, "Where you been, LT?" LT said, "I guess we will be back here a year from now saying the same thing about MPS because nobody will hold the parents of these kids responsible for their lack of reading and math skills. You can pay the superintendent $1 million a year. You can pay the teachers $100,000 a year. If the parents are not reading with their children, if they are not going over math problems with their children after school and making sure they get their homework done, these kids are forever destined for failure, and nobody knows it, and nobody will say it. This is part of raising our children." That is true. This is why I would call on the teachers union, the school board, and everybody who's licensed in the Milwaukee Public Schools, nurses, everybody. Let's extend the school day. Let's keep kids over the summer. Yeah, we'll take a break in between like we do for Christmas, in between the semesters and all that stuff, or marking periods, whatever y'all call them now. Let's do it. Let's be in school in summertime. Let's just do it. We'll have some 3-week gaps. You can go on vacation with your kids and do all that stuff, and after a couple of years, you'll be used to it. And we'll tell people when it's going to happen. So don't start in 2026. Start in 2027. We're going to expand the school year. When this contract is up with the teachers, expand the school year, expand the school day. And you'll get paid all summer. Will it raise the amount of money you need? I'll gladly pay more in my housing tax, in my property tax. Gladly. Because now school is year-round. They've got 4 major breaks during the year. And that way they get break. They get the holidays off. They get the 4th of July off. They get Labor Day off. But they'll go to school in July and August. And they'll learn how to read better. They'll learn how to write better. Instead of it being a 6 or 6.5 hour day, make it a 7-hour day. If you got to pay for some food or some extra snacks, let's pay for some extra snacks. And we can use that extra time not for mental health days, but we can use that extra time for reading, writing, and arithmetic. Giving them the extra things they need. They can do their homework. Hey, after school, you get to come here, you can do your homework. I say, why not? I totally agree, LT, but not about the parent responsibility thing. Sometimes parents can't be responsible. Sometimes they're working so hard, they're just trying to make ends meet for whatever, 2-parent, 1-parent, single, whatever. Situations and circumstances may not allow some people to do that. So what do? You adapt and overcome. If you spend more time at something, you get better at it. So if you're not going home and doing your homework, you have an hour after school or maybe 2 to get your homework done. I don't really see that that's a problem. If you want to keep those kids in school so that they can learn, so in the fall you give them their tests in October, give them their tests. They'll probably do significantly better. It'll take a little bit of an adjustment, but they'll do fine. I have faith. Lord knows if I made it through 8th grade in high school, anybody can. 833-212-1017 is the number. Sandra, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Hi, it's me again.
Yes. How are you?
Yes, I am fine. How are you doing?
I'm doing good.
Okay, I was listening, and then I listen a lot. And then I talk a lot, too. I mean, to myself.
Okay.
In the house.
So give
when
me...
everybody, when they...
So give me one of them things you talked about.
That you talked about?
No, that you talked about to yourself based on what I said.
Oh, well, today was when you said people made comments about that Brenda Casilius.
Yep.
I guess I pronounced her name right.
Casilius.
About mentioning, about mentioning the crime.
Mm-hmm.
I was one of them, and then I think the town did too.
Right.
So I recognize when you said that. But the reason I said it is because every time when people speak, they speak of crime, and crime to me is a code for black.
No.
And see, every time people open their mouth, it's always got to be the crime. And to me, even when black people say it,
okay,
it's a code for black people because that's who they're associated with the crime all the time.
But isn't that the media's fault, not ours?
Well, but we fall prey for it. I'm saying, yes, media's fault.
But we commit
the
crime.
Say the same thing.
Well, wait a minute. But we commit the crime.
Not all the time. We're not the only ones.
I'm not talking
We're not
about
the only ones. You just don't
not
see.
an excuse.
You don't see their crime.
Don't raise your voice at me. I'm going to come over there and...
No. I'm just saying you don't see their crime on TV. That's what I'm saying. I'm going to give you a big because I'm coming down here. I'm going to be looking at you right in that window.
Uh-oh. but the bottom line
That's
is,
for sure.
in the end, it's unfortunate, but I wish we had this much of a dust-up about stopping shootings and reckless driving than we do that somebody said something about us.
Mm-hmm. I just don't like it to be all black code. Black code is always black people. But the shooting,
but the problem is
they claim they can't do nothing about the guns.
Is it true?
It's false and prayers, Dr. King.
Is it true?
False and prayers.
Answer my question.
It's not true, but I don't want everybody looking at black people like we're the criminals.
Is there crime in the city of Milwaukee, and is the majority of the homicide crime black people?
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, it is.
I don't think so.
Yes,
I think crime is created.
You're missing my
crime
point. I'm
created.
talking about homicides, shootings.
Crime is created.
By the person doing it.
Crime is created.
By the person doing
by
it.
By we the people. And politicians. By the laws they pass.
By you doing like everybody.
By the laws that's being passed.
Thank you much, Sandra.
Crimes are set up. Because you can correct crimes, Dr. Ken.
All right.
You
Thank
can.
You,
why are you going to say that?
Thank you,
why are you going to say that?
That's what you believe. Thank you.
I know.
Appreciate
how come it's not crime in the suburbs then?
Have a good weekend.
How come crime is not there? I'll talk to you Monday. You don't want to hit that topic. I want you to hit that topic once for me.
Have a good weekend. Bye.
I want you to hit it. And tell me why ain't no crime in the suburbs then.
Why isn't there crime in the suburbs?
Okay, bye.
No,
have a good weekend too, though.
Answer the question now. Huh? Why isn't there crime in the suburbs?
Well, I guess because they got a lot of money and the police to protect them. Because that money speaks.
Wrong.
And if we don't get the money we need for our city, hey.
We'll talk about
okay, bye.
We'll fight about it on Monday. All right, take care. Have a good weekend. Bye.
Okay, bye, Dr. I'm coming to the window.
Okay.
Okay, bye.
Bye. 833-212-1017 is the number. I'm behind already anyway. Winky, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Hey, good afternoon to you, Doc. You know, I really like Sandra, and she's an older lady, and I respect her very much.
Yes.
But it seems like she want to challenge just because. I mean, she know ain't no crime here but us because we the only ones live here. So, I mean, we the only ones living here, so we the ones actually committing the crime. And when she talk about the suburbs and what they doing, the white folks snitch on each other out there. They ain't got no problem with telling. They ain't got no problem with telling on their own, man. They tell right away.
Correct.
As a matter of fact, they'll snitch on each other and be playing cards in the joint together. And Steve, why you tell they had Jackie and the kids? I had to do something. And them boys would do their bit together. And they been snitching on each other. But anyway, I called because I need to hear something.
Your phone is muffled and disappearing.
Okay, when I say that, it started muffling and disappearing. I need your help.
Okay. Depends.
Okay, it started muffling.
No, seriously.
Listen, Dr. Ken.
What's up?
Dr. Ken. This verdict that came down today with this gentleman, and he was found guilty, and that's a great thing. But Dr. Ken, I've been mentioning this, and I've been making a stink about it. Janiyah Walker was working at Pizza Shuttle in 2022. She has been missing ever since, and her mother's been looking everywhere. My thing is that we understand that there was no actual DNA of this Sade, and if she was chopped up pretty brutally, there would be some kind of DNA or blood or some kind of there would be some kind of something
evidence. Evidence.
Some kind of evidence that's the crime scene.
Okay.
We need to find out where the crime scene is, and I guess that's the $1 million question, because if we can find that, I'm sure we would find many other DNAs there. Because wherever
we don't know that.
Baby up at,
we don't know that. So don't make assumptions.
Okay, well, we know he didn't chop the baby up in the house.
We don't know that.
We do know. Oh, come on now, brother. Ain't nowhere in the world he can get away with the blood. It would have been hey man, listen.
Y'all said it cut him up and it's in the house. Like every step that people argued about where the evidence was going to go, it didn't go. There was no DNA, there was no blood, there was nothing that was attached to him.
But it happened somewhere. And this guy's not going to have a come to Jesus moment. This guy's not going to have a come to Jesus moment.
You ready?
Yeah, what'd you say?
I don't think he was the only one.
And you know something? Guess what? I reviewed that, and I reviewed a couple of other places and locations, and they were adamant on giving this girl liquor. I don't know. I don't want to get into that. But I will say this. I need to, some kind of way, maybe approach the new owners of the property. I would like to pay to have that excavated, that property, because...
Too late.
Why you say that?
Nobody's going to let you excavate their property no matter what happened there.
Well, they might don't want to be living on a graveyard.
They bought it. You think they don't know?
Yeah, but brother, even in the property sold so fast that's suspicious. Like
there
maybe
was no evidence that anybody was killed there, so you're not gonna excavate that property. Like, it's a lost
What if
cause.
the new owners would allow it? What if the new owners would allow it?
What if the new owners come
Then how do you do that? Do you have a police? No. Do you have a police?
What?
But I get all of that now. Now, it's a good time to be negative, but this is a serious issue. If you knock on these people's door and they agree, oh, sure, why not? We sign the papers and get the place excavated. We energy, power lines, all of that. Now, do you have the police? You have to have a police because this has got to be treated as a crime scene. So
it's too late.
Have the police?
It's too late. They're gone. Any decent, okay, your phone is muffled again. Any decent person could argue that whatever you found there, the crime scene has been spoiled. It's done. They have gone through it. If they sold the house, they got there. Anybody could have come in there. You could find a pint of blood in there.
We're not saying that we're not going to say that he's
okay.
I got the point, but what if we're not saying that he is the perpetrator at this point, but what if they find a skull there with teeth that can, with dental, we can find out who
prove he got there? You can't. The scene has been released. It doesn't
all
matter.
We want to do is make this there.
Once the police released the scene, somebody could have came in behind them and tossed a skull in there. There's reasonable doubt on anybody having committed a crime after that. Like you just.
But it would still be worth questioning this guy.
He's already going to jail for life. I mean, what else do you want? He's in prison for the rest of his life. I mean,
more closer for any other missing people.
How do you know it's tied to him?
Hey man, for 1 minute you seem all right, then the next minute you just go. I mean,
because I don't
either
agree
you're there
with
or
you?
you're not.
Either I don't agree.
No, it's not about agreeing with me, but it's about bringing closure. What about bringing closure?
My job is not to bring closure. My job is to close the case that's in front of me. We got cold case.
Okay, but you're no longer doing that. You retired from that.
Why don't you be quiet and let me finish? We got cold case people that work on those types of cases every day. But you're not going to go back into a crime scene and pretend like you found something after you already released the crime scene to the public and anybody could have put anything in there. That would not stand up to anything in court. They would throw that out. They wouldn't even let you to present it because it's bad. It's bad evidence. It's fruit of a poisonous tree.
But wouldn't you bring closure to those families?
Huh?
If you did find something, when you bring closure to the family?
Came from.
But regardless of that, they know it's there.
All right, I'm done.
They can have a funeral, right?
Have a good one. Talk to you later.
Man, I can't believe it.
This is not TV. And it may not be fruit of the poisonous tree, but I digress. This is not TV. If you don't have evidence, you can't build a case. If you can't build a case, you can't give somebody closure. Give them a false sense of closure, then find out later, well, actually, that's the skull of a deceased goat from 20 years ago. Then, no. Once they released that crime scene, anybody could have did anything. So, unfortunately, but fortunately, we've got the city, the county, the state, and national people who only work on cold cases. Something will happen. They'll find someone. Let me see if I can squeeze them in. Eastside Corey, you're on the award-winning 1017 The Truth.
Hey, Dr. Ken. Thank you for taking my call.
Yes.
First of all, great interview with the earlier this week with the MPS supervisor. That was a great interview. Superintendent, thank you.
Thank you.
I think I watched a little too much true crime investigation.
Yeah.
Okay, and I'm the same way. But I keep going back to the days of Dahmer. There's always that question looming. I don't know if the question's ever asked the why and the how. And like Rinky,
the how, yes. The why is irrelevant.
It is irrelevant, only in the sense that I don't know. Is this the way our society is set up right now?
Well, the why follows the motive when you're investigating. So if I know why you did something, then I can probably prove that you did it and how you did it. Now we
have that question ever?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was asked in the interview. Sure.
Yeah.
But if you don't admit to it, if you don't admit to it,
right?
How do I get that answer?
I also think, is this a situation that is not exclusive, but characteristic of Wisconsin, because we have, two of the famous serial killers that come from Wisconsin.
Like who?
And
who? Dahmer and Ed Gein?
Yeah. And I'm wondering. Some
states have more.
I don't know.
Like New York.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah.
California. I'm just glad. I was very happy that you were the one that gave me the news. I didn't look at the news today or television. That you gave me the news today about the result of the trial.
Okay.
And 30 minutes. That's like
30 minutes one day, 20 minutes another day, 51 minutes, and they were done.
That speaks volumes about how the evidence was presented, and
it does not. It does not.
It does not.
Because some people got acquitted in 51 minutes. Somebody in America got acquitted in 51 minutes. So it's you just don't know. You just don't know. That's why the jury deliberation, they're sequestered and they debate. Mm-hmm. And you got 12 people of your peers, and it is what it is.
Mm-hmm. I like how they treated the family with the announcement today. Also, that was very well done.
Well, that's not how you treat it. That's how you do it in court. Everybody be quiet. Everybody be quiet. You're going to have a verdict. And when you hear the verdict, whether you agree with it or disagree with it, we need you quiet.
Yes.
Because when one party goes and the other party's mad, you get a dust up in court. The next thing you know, a fight's breaking.
Yep. Right. Exactly. But I'm going to pray for the family and pray for our city.
Oh, yeah.
That this was a one-time thing for this young man.
Mm-hmm.
But I have a sneaking suspicion that there things that led up to this. I don't even know what motivates somebody to not only kill someone, but then to cut them up into pieces. It's like that extra.
Yep.
So, but I appreciate you, and I like your style. Let's have a great weekend, okay?
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it.
Bye-bye.
Bye. So Sincere on the YouTube chat said, "Is there a chance you could be wrong? What if they didn't do a thorough investigation and later they find remains there?" Talk about that when I come back. And now with 101.7 The Truth Traffic, here's Debbie Lazaga.
Slowdowns on westbound 94 are pretty minimal right now, believe it or not. Just a quick tap of the brakes just west of Highway F, heading out towards Highway 16. Once you get past that from Meadowbrook Road on heading out towards Elmhurst, you're going to see a little bit of a backup there. On the eastbound side, we're seeing delays from Highway 16 all the way past Blue Mound Road. Then you're back on the brakes from the Zoo Interchange to Hawley Road. Northbound 43 backing up from Fond du Lac Avenue up to Keefe. Southbound still a little bit heavy from Good Hope Road down past Silver Spring. And then we've got southbound 41 just south of Appleton Avenue. Brake lights come on heading all the way past Capitol Drive. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Tonight, partly cloudy skies, a low of 52. Tomorrow, partly to mostly cloudy. A slight chance for an afternoon rain shower, a high of 67 at the lake, 73 inland. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 101.7 The Truth.
This is your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute.
So, Black women's leadership needs to be prioritized. That means a whole lot of things, but it includes a message for white women, which would be, it'll be wise for you to take our lead. We've already demonstrated everything there is to the world about who we are. We shouldn't have to keep doing that over and over again. The reality is that there are times when we got to muster up the energy to do some things we don't want to do. But I don't want that to be commonplace for me, and I certainly don't want it to be commonplace for other Black women. There's often this message that we need to stay strong because there are people depending on it. No, we need ourselves.
Yeah, you can't, what do they say? You can't pour from an empty cup?
Yes. And I even am hearing people say a lot more, you shouldn't pour from your cup at all until it overflows. And it's the overflow that you give. You keep the full cup for yourself.
This has been your Planned Parenthood Advocates of Wisconsin Minute. It's time for Truth Takes, a thought-provoking commentary on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Here is Dr. Ken Harris with his truth.
You know, in life, our journey is not meant to be walked alone. As much as self-reliance and independence are celebrated, we need an inner circle, a group of trusted friends who uplift, challenge, and remind us of our purpose. Your inner circle is more than just companionship. It's your compass. These are the people who see your potential when self-doubt clouds your vision, who tell you the truth even when it's uncomfortable, and who stand beside you when the weight of the world feels unbearable. You know, the value of an inner circle is not just in the emotional support, but in accountability. They hold us to our highest standards, ensuring we don't settle for mediocrity. It's through this circle that we refine our thoughts, grow in character and courage to face life's battles. Today is no exception. Choose wisely. Surround yourself with people who inspire you, energize you, and believe in your dreams as much as you do. They will then shape your growth, strengthen your resilience, and celebrate your victories. You know, James Baldwin once said, "The place in which I will fit will not exist until I make it." Your inner circle is part of that place, a foundation for your growth, your success, and most importantly, belonging.
This has been Truth Takes on the award-winning 101.7 The Truth. Listen to The Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris, weekdays from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. This is Truth in the Afternoon with Dr. Ken Harris on 101.7 The Truth app, and 1017thetruth.com.
You know, somebody said about Maxwell Anderson, stupid is as stupid does. Yeah, he did.
Truth Nation, Gruber Law Offices and The Truth have raised the stakes for this year. The One Call That's All Gruber Cash giveaway is now a $5K giveaway. Yes, you heard it right. $5,000 giveaway. Every weekday on 1017 The Truth, you will have the chance to be entered to win the $5K giveaway. Listen to The Truth for the One Call That's All cue to call for your chance to win $5,000. Gruber Law Offices, One Call That's All. Visit 1017thetruth.com for official contest rules.
This is Sherwin Hughes from 1017 The Truth for Axe Housing. Are you tired of paying a landlord rent when you should be paying yourself? Do you want to leave a financial legacy, or would you like to have a stable place to call home? Well, it's time for you to start on the path to owning your own home instead of renting. You can work with an Axe Housing coach, and they will teach you how home ownership can be a reality. Axe Housing has helped over 4,000 families in our neighborhoods. Many times your mortgage will be a lot less than what you're paying for rent. As an average Axe family who has been helped pays around $900 per month. No matter what barriers you think you're facing, Axe Housing coaches can assist you right now. An Axe Housing coach will help you create and stick to a plan and a budget and get you ready for home ownership. If you're not dreaming of home ownership by now, you certainly should be. Let's make it a reality with Axe Housing. Get started on a virtual orientation by clicking on axhousing.org. That is ACTS housing.org. Don't let where you are financially right now get in the way of your very bright future of becoming a homeowner. Axe coaches are here to help.
Ready to buy your first house, move into your forever home, or simply refinance? At Associated Bank, they've got you. With the right lending plan and guidance, you can achieve your dreams. Your financial goals are closer than you think, and Associated Bank is excited to help you reach them. Learn more at associatedbank.com/lending or ask a banker for details. Subject to credit approval, member FDIC, equal housing lender. Saving energy and money is easier than you think. Here are 2 simple things you can do to reduce your energy use and lower your energy bill. Use thermal curtains to reduce each room's energy loss by up to 25%, and make sure vents aren't blocked by furniture or rugs to improve airflow and comfort. Simple, smart savings. Get more energy-saving tips at WeEnergies.com.
Hi, I'm attorney David Gruber. After an accident, you need a trusted winning team on your side. For more than 30 years, Gruber Law Offices has helped Wisconsin families get the results they deserve. If you've been injured, call our firm today for a free consultation. We're available 24/7. Wisconsin's own Gruber Law Offices, proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
It's been one of them days, I'm telling you, boy. Woo. Finally made it through. You're listening to Truth in the Afternoon. I'm your host, Dr. Ken Harris. Tori Lowe Show's coming up next. Hey, y'all, God bless. Take care. Have a safe, quiet, functional weekend. All right? All right. Thank you, X. Appreciate you. God bless. I'm out.
This is 1017 The Truth, Kyle Wallace, and the time is now, Milwaukee. Truth to Power is your platform. And on my show, our community